Hello, my name's Andrea. I'm a qualified nutritionist and chef working for Greenwich Pantry, a food business that teaches cooking skills. In this video, I'll show you how to make a lentil and vegetable soup. Joining me today is Ashley from the Stroke Association.
Hello.
This is a vegan-friendly recipe and it's a great one for freezing to eat later. We also include some tips at the end of how to thicken this if you have any swallowing difficulties. The prep for this recipe will take around 10 to 15 minutes. It will then cook for around 30 minutes. The ingredients are listed in the video description below, but as you can see, we have carrots, we have celery, we have leeks, we have red lentils, we have thyme and coriander, we have vegetable stock, garlic, tomato puree. You'll need a large pan, also various knives, spoons, measuring spoons, a sieve, a blender, and of course a chopping board. So let's get chopping. We'll start with chopping the garlic, the leeks, the carrots, and the celery.
Great. Does it matter how big, how fine, how rough you chop these?
No, it doesn't actually, because as you can see here, I've chopped some already, really coarse and really fine, so whatever suits your needs.
Fantastic.
So I'm just cutting off the ends. These carrots have been washed. As you can see, I haven't peeled them. You don't need to peel them.
Ooh. Runaway carrot. So at the minute I'm using a specialty chopping board that some people who have limited use of one hand may find useful. So you can see it has some spikes here. Be very careful not to cut yourself. You just take the vegetables that you're chopping and press them down very gently onto the spike. And then you can take a knife, or there are also specialty knives that you can hold in a slightly more natural position, and you can then just chop the vegetables using only one hand.
Is it easy to get hold of this equipment?
You can find them online in a lot of different places. Yeah, you can find them on, I don't want to drop any names, but you can find them online on large retailers.
It does look easy to use.
It's not bad. You may want to put something non-slip underneath. You can see I've got a big chopping board under here, but there are non-slip mats, or even just a folded up towel can make a big difference.
As you can see here, I've prepared one of the leeks. It starts off like this. It's got ends on there that are quite dirty, and you need to cut it in half to make sure there's no dirt in between each layer. Once you've done that, it's easier to chop up as well. With leeks, they are quite strong, so I know the recipe tells you to use 2 or 3, but some people don't like the taste of onions, so be careful with your leeks.
So is this recipe quite flexible then? You can change the seasonings, you can change what goes into it?
Yes, it is, and you can keep it seasonal as well, so you could use ordinary onions or spring onions instead if you like the taste of onions, or leave it out.
Now we've had some comments when we were doing the planning stages for this project from stroke survivors who say they really struggle with fatigue. Can you recommend anything for people when they're dealing with a recipe that has a lot of chopping like this?
Well, you could cook in stages. So for instance, when you're cutting up your carrots, they're quite hard, so some people might find this quite tiring, cutting up the carrots. So stop, take a break. Then go on to something else. If you have to take a long break, put the carrots in some water and put them in the fridge. Same goes for all your ingredients, put them in the fridge just to keep them fresh. Yeah. Do you want a hand with those, Scarlett?
Yes, please.
So should we add everything to the pot?
Let's go.
of our garlic. So what we need to do now is add some thyme.
And if you don't have fresh thyme, can you use dried thyme?
Dry thyme's fine. And coriander. So we got ground coriander, but you can use coriander seeds as well. You don't need to measure that, so just break that off and put that in the pot.
Interestingly.
Okay. The more you put in, the more flavour.
Oh, let's add a little bit more then. Okay.
The coriander, it's got a really strong taste, so I wouldn't just pour it into the pot. I would use measuring spoons for this. About a teaspoonful should be fine.
Okay.
Okay. And then lentils. These lentils come in a packet like these. These are red lentils. I've washed them. They don't need soaking. So
and can you use tinned ones if you can't get or don't like dried ones?
you can use tinned ones. They'd be a bit softer, but these don't take that long to cook anyway, so we just pop those in as well. And then we're going to use some tomato puree.
Okay.
Just to add more flavour as well. Now, tomato puree is just tomatoes. There's no salt in this whatsoever.
Oh, fantastic.
So you can use as much as you want. Oh, it just gives you an idea of how much you're using. Okay. And then water. For this recipe, we're going to use 1.5 litres. This jug only holds half a litre, so there's not enough water here.
Well, I can certainly get more water.
Please. Thank you. And stock cube. Now
Stock is very high in salt.
it can be, but we're going to be using a low salt alternative.
Okay.
Or you can make your own stock at home by boiling up bones or boiling vegetables to make your own stock.
And we will link to a recipe for an easy to make vegetable stock in the video description below.
So with this one, it is a low salt alternative, so I would use all of this. If it wasn't low salt, I would only use half.
Oh, okay.
So we just break this up. So our ingredients in the pot.
And that's it.
That's it. Let's put the lid on it, and we need to put it on the stove to simmer. So actually the soup's been cooking for about 30 minutes. So should we have a look and see what's happening? That's really nice, thank you. Just give it a quick stir to make sure nothing's sticking to the bottom.
Oh, it looks great.
It looks lovely, doesn't it? So this looks like it's done. So as we said before, we're going to blend some of this just to thicken it slightly, or if you have swallowing difficulties, you could blend the whole thing so it's easier to swallow.
Great. And we will have some guidance on our website and the video description below from the IDDSI swallowing guidelines. So that's the International Dysphagia Diet Standardization Initiative. Bit of a mouthful.
I'm going to blend about half of this soup.
And that's just to thicken the kind of the broth of it.
Exactly. So the lentils have gone to the bottom, so let's get a few of those. I'm going to use the stick blender. It's much easier to use if you've got any weakness due to your stroke. Plunge the blender in, make sure it's touching the bottom. Make sure you get all the pieces. So just moving it around, but lifting it up, and make sure you don't have your finger on the button when you do so. And that's it. Actually, as you can see, it's a lot thicker. So I'm going to pour it back into the pan.
And if you wanted to freeze this, you know, sort of make a big batch, freeze it for later, how long would it be safe to keep in the freezer?
About 3 to 4 months. But if you did decide to add meat to this, you could only freeze it for about 2 to 3 months.
Okay.
You can freeze it in one big batch, but if you're living on your own and you only want small portions, I would suggest that you freeze it in smaller batches. Also, you need to put the date that you've frozen it so you know how long it's been in the freezer for.
Oh, that's very organised. I should really do that myself. Should we get a bowl and try it out?
Yes, let's.
Oh, it looks wonderful.
It does, doesn't it? It smells nice as well.
It really does.
Shall we try?
Yeah, you go first.
Thank you. That's really nice, isn't it?
Yeah, it is really nice. That's really good. Please let us know in the comments if you've tried this recipe out for yourself or if you have any questions. And like the video and subscribe to our channel if you'd like to see more content like this. Thanks for watching.